After 11 years in a long-distance marriage, our guest woke up to videos and pictures of his wife on Instagram getting married to another man.
Up until now that I'm speaking to you, she doesn't know that I saw this message. I don't even care if he loves me or not, because waiting love do for me, besides stress me. He isn't taking care of me as a man should. He isn't satisfying me sexually. He isn't helping my spiritual life. He isn't spoiling me. He isn't energetic enough towards any goal. He isn't anything good. Rubbish. Meanwhile, sorry I yelled again. I'm just very irritated by him, and really it's really bad that if he tries to touch me, I can scream out of irritation. Dealing with this, and then I have to deal with bad news. Now who I've been coping with unsatisfying sex for almost 3 years. Stupid idiot. He's your friend. Better tell him he shouldn't dare to try to be egoistic with me. It will be the last mistake he makes. God forbid I let another man use me, whether deliberately or not. I'm 48 years old. I don't have a kid. I started going for sperm.
It's okay.
I was going for sperm tests. I see, I be Calabar man, no. Do you understand? I'm a Calabar man. I'm now hearing that she was taking contraceptives. And
How did you hear?
What?
Mayowa traveled to Miami, go do BBL, and she told me that she went to do surgery for something that would make her be able to conceive. If I send Mayowa a DM on Instagram, if she post something on Instagram on her story, she'll tell me to, why you sending me message here? Why you sending message here? Send it on WhatsApp. And yeah, that they check, you know.
What did they?
In immigration, I don't know whether they check.
Immigration, no, I mean.
For the small money I was earning, I was sending money to Mayowa every time. I have receipts here.
You were saying that
I was sending money abroad. I was sending flowers. I had friends in the US, and I would beg them to buy flowers and deliver in her house. Mayowa came back the first time after she got her green card. She came back in 2021. We did not stay in the house because NEPA was taking light. And we didn't stay in the house. We had to go and stay in an apartment that she paid for. No wahala. Do you get? And she traveled back after a month. Mayowa didn't bother to come back since 2021. I did not see Mayowa again until last year that I sent her money to buy ticket to come to Nigeria. She came to Nigeria. I went to pick up my friend. I went with 2 cars to the airport. With my friends, I gave my friend's phone so that they welcome her. I couldn't get a clip of me hugging my wife. You haven't seen your husband in 4 years. And I went to pick you up at the airport and you did not hug me. We got home and she did not kiss me. She did not hug me. I slept in the living room for 2 days. I went to Asaba for an event. Before I came back, she had packed her things and left the house. 2023. I went for crossover service. On my way back home, my friend was in the car with me. Before then, Mayowa was ignoring my calls. Your own wife. I don't want to talk too much. Let me show you. No, I did a screen
record.
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you. Now look at the amount of missed calls. Look at the days. It will scroll by itself. Just look at the days. There was a time I said, I'm calling you. You said you will call back. You didn't call back. The only time we'll talk will be like for 20, 30 seconds. Look at it. It's there.
Wow.
Merry Christmas. Christmas. You just said Merry Christmas.
Wow.
To your husband.
Hello everyone, I'm Nonye, and this is Chat with Nonye. If you're seeing me for the very first time, kindly subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share, and I would like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. I don't know if any of you have seen the video that just finished playing. I'm going to use Robert Ekpo and his ex-wife Mayowa Lambe as a case study. On this platform, we try as much as possible to mirror people's life and take a lesson or two from it and see how we can make corrections where there's a need. We're not here to criticize or condemn anybody, but we're here to learn. You know, in my last video, I spoke about the reasons people get married. And I hinted on the fact that when you married due to love, or you're trying to satisfy a member of your family, those two, it's a matter of, desperation is not attached to it. Is you trying to like circumstances or situation or anything that has made you do that. While other ones has desperation boldly written on it. Now, why I'm using robots, popularly known as Roby Ekpo and his ex-wife Mayowa Lambe's case as a case study is because, when he was telling his story, there was a long list of issues in the marriage. And in all of this, I did not hear any form of solution or any form of communication attached to it. It was all problems, problems, problems. And that was just it. And I have come to realize one thing is that people find it difficult to communicate. I won't say people, in marriage, couple, they find it difficult to communicate simply because they are afraid of the outcome. They are afraid of the way their partner is going to react to it. They are unsure of what's going to happen when they bring the topic up or when they decide to have the conversation over that issue. So when fear is the order of the day, solving a problem becomes a problem on its own. It becomes a huge problem. Now, avoiding that problem, avoiding talking about that problem is another problem too on its own. Let's liken issue not spoken about as dirt. When swept under a carpet generally is flat on the floor, laid flat on the floor. Then a situation whereby you sweep, you don't get your dustpan and broom to pack it. You feel the best thing, let me just put it under this carpet. You do it day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. It depending on how flat that carpet is and how much dirt it can take in. But after a while, you will see that spot bulged out. It will no longer be flat because there's some things, particles underneath. Now, when you have discovered that, when you're going to be stepping on another part that is flat and you step on that, it's going to be a problem for you. So you will now start finding a way of getting rid of the dirt from that spot. Now that is the way issue is, unresolved issue. When you use a hammer or any hard object to hit against the wall, we might not see the crack immediately, but definitely that force has caused something on the wall. It's not the last force that made the wall crack. It's actually the first one. It's weakened something. A continuous hit on that spot will cause the wall to collapse. That is what happens to marriages. Today, we are going to conclude our talk about why marriages hit the rock. And like I said, I'm going to use Roby, and Mayowa as a case study. You know, let me start with the notion, because fine, they've been married for 11 years. But when you calculate how many years they actually stayed together, it's way less than 11 years. Even with that one that they stayed together, when you calculate the issue they had, unresolved issue they had, that is another one. That is another one. But because he was so scared of the outcome, so he was just trying to patch. He was just trying to manage, hoping she was on the same page with him. He was blinded with the fact that the marriage was heading straight to the rocks. I didn't say she never loved him. Once upon a time, she did. But something happened along the line. Like I said in my last video, love will bring the two of you together. But the truth is that love cannot sustain marriage. It goes way beyond that. And I guess that is what happened to Mayowa. She fell out of love for him. Completely out of love for him. He was still emotionally vested in his relationship with his wife, but she had emotionally checked out. The signs were there. So when the issue started from the one that he saw it, he sat her down, regardless of how he feels she's going to take it. When two people are, say for example, you're in a heated argument and stuff like that, it is not advisable to have any form of conversation where nobody's going to hear anybody. You're talking, I'm talking, it's going to be all scattered. But when the atmosphere is now relaxed, no more tension anywhere, that is the point where that issue has to be resolved. So the one killer of marriage is communication. When you don't communicate, how do you resolve issues? When you don't communicate, how do you find solutions to the problems that you have? When you don't communicate, how do you make headways? How do you move from point A to point B? How do you heal if you don't communicate? How do you genuinely know how the other person feels when you don't communicate? So, number one killer is communication. And number two is this lack of responsibility, this I don't care attitude. That's number two. This I don't care attitude. You see some homes that the men would like, is the woman's responsibility to do A, B, C, D. I really don't care. It is not my job. It is not my duty. And in my last video, I said it takes two people to run a home. It takes two people to make a marriage work. So when you have an I don't care attitude in your marriage, and one person has to shoulder the burden, at the end of the day, that other person gets tired and just wants time out. Yeah, whether it's on the man's side or on the woman's side. Once you tell yourself, you know what, I love you, I want to get married to you, or for whatever reason, you guys have found yourself under the same roof as husband and wife, then you know teamwork takes roots. It is not a matter of this is your own job, this is my own job. It is a matter of this is it's a collective job. It's a collective activity, especially in a home where children are involved. It's a collective effort, not one-sided. Because once the weight is so much on one side, at the end of the day, that person is like, you know what? I'm no longer interested. There's no joy in being married to this person. There's no joy in still being in company of this person. Frustration kicks in. Number 3, lack of consideration. There's always a saying that is a man's world. No, it's nobody's world. It's both the woman and man's world. So whatever it is, decision you decide to take, action you decide to take, consider your partner. Consider your partner's feeling. Consider your partner's state of mind. Consider everything about your partner before you take that step. I say something all the time. Sit back and ask yourself, what I'm about to do, if my partner does it to me, how would I feel? When you're able to answer that question genuinely, then you consider your actions before you taking them. Yeah, you consider your action, be it the man, be it the woman. Now, like what Mayowa did, if she had sat down and asked herself a genuine question, I'm just leading this man on, or because at this particular moment I need his money, or because at this particular moment I need his support, I'm just leading him on. If Roby does the same for me or the same to me, how would I feel? If she had asked herself that question genuinely and given herself a truthful answer, I'm sure probably their marriage will have been dissolved way before now. Yeah. The another one is when there's red flags, we should stop turning a blind eye to red flags. Stop turning a blind eye to red flags. See, he's 48. He's 48 and there's no time he can have a child now. I'm sure his regret is the fact that he already had a plan for himself. He didn't see himself at 48 not having a child. Yes, everything he put into the marriage is what actually made him cry. No, wept. Because this has gone beyond crying. It's from his heart. Because he turned a blind eye. The red flag, if it was everywhere. That is why I played the video first. The red flags were everywhere. Flying everywhere. But he was in denial. It's also a major thing that destroys marriages, living in denial. Always blaming yourself for your partner's mistakes. Always blaming yourself for your partner's faults. That is living in denial. Always thinking you're the imperfect person, your partner is perfect. Always thinking that, oh, you're so lucky to have your partner. That is living in denial. That is what happened to him. He felt his whole life, everything about him revolved around Mayowa. That is why he could go an extra mile. You can just imagine a man that has not seen his wife for like 3-4 years and goes to the airport to pick her up. Not a single hug. I remembered when my family moved here in Vienna, and I was still in Nigeria trying to, process my documents and other stuff. For 1 year, my children and husband were here, and I was in Nigeria trying to put things together. It was tough. But trust me, in that 1 year, we did video calls every day. Every day. And on the day I stepped my feet here in Vienna, my husband came to pick me at the airport. Oh my God. See the hug, the excitement and everything. And when my children saw me, the whole place was just 1 year. Not to talk of somebody that you have not seen for like 2, 3, 4 years. And not even hug. No excitement, nothing. Haba. And he was still playing along. I wouldn't say playing, I won't use that word playing along. But he just came up with excuses. Excuses for her. No. That's living in denial. That is complete living in denial. All these things put together are what leads to marriage crashing. I asked a question in my last video. What were our mothers doing right? Not all our mothers were actually happy in their marriages. Some of them stayed because of their children. Some stayed because of what society would say. Some stayed because of what family members would say. While the rest stayed because genuinely they were happy. And that is not what is applicable now. Marriages you see working, thriving, is a lot of cooperation happening between partners. Yes. When you are a partner, you are in partnership, commitments, dedication. You look out for each other. Yes. And marriages that head to the rock, when you hear their story, you discover that it wasn't a thing of like this video. It wasn't a thing of 1 year, 2 years. Over time. And the partner could not take it anymore. Because of the reasons I've just stated. They just want to live their life. They were no longer happy. They've lost themselves. And they don't want to get to the point whereby they will weep. I would like to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. Please like, subscribe. And I wish every one of us a happy marriage life. Bye.